We've got some breaking news regarding the Gareon Conley situation. The good news is he just signed his rookie contract with the Raiders. The bad news is, according to Fox 8 in Cleveland, Ohio, multiple sources tell them that Cleveland is wrapping up the claim of rape against former Ohio State football star Gareon Conley. We have learned a grand jury could soon decide, as soon as next week, if there should be criminal charges, if there is not enough evidence for charges. Skimming through where I saw something before. It says Cleveland sex crimes investigators has spent weeks doing interviews and getting lab test results. Multiple sources tell the I-Team investigators this week we're taking the final steps gathering evidence. Wow. And the case is expected to be heard by a grand jury possibly within days. When something is sent to the grand jury, which is a group of citizens who have a permanent job as a grand jurist, it's because they can't figure it out. They don't know one way or the other. Now here's the thing. Just because it says that the evidence or whatever is going to the grand jury, almost as if to say the Gareon Conley's innocence is going to be proven, because now it's going to the jury. Everyone knows he's innocent, right? Wrong. You're not acquitted that easily. The grand jury is not going to base things on whether he is totally innocent. They're just looking to see if there's enough evidence to actually bring this to trial and allow a jury of his peers to decide whether he is innocent or guilty, or a judge. This is probably why it took so long. And I still stick to my theory that those Cleveland prosecutors were waiting. They were waiting. They were waiting for him to get signed, because I think they want some money. The lack of DNA evidence immediately being processed is kind of funny to me. But then again, this isn't a huge case, I guess. I mean, it's huge in the sense that, how many people out of, all the draft picks, it was a couple hundred people who were drafted. So I guess that's a unique class. But as far as them are concerned, I guarantee in Cleveland, Ohio, Cleveland is a big city, relatively speaking. They probably have lots of sexual crimes that are much more clear. This one is not going to be too clear. And the fact that they're talking about gathering evidence, what did they say there? Lab test results, that they can't conclude anything themselves, tells me it could be problematic for Gareon Conley. I wonder who's leaking this, too. Is it just the prosecutors, the investigators leaking this? Because he just got signed and they're doing the politics part of it? Because Gareon Conley and company better hope it wasn't them leaking it. Because if you're subpoenaed before a grand jury, first of all, if you don't cooperate, the judge can put you in jail until you cooperate. Yes. It's not good. I've never had it happen to me. I just know that that's the truth. And the judge will give you instructions much more severe than the type of instructions maybe a regular juror would be given if they were impaneled. You do not talk to anyone about what was just discussed here. And if you do, you're going to be found in contempt of court, and you're going to be put in jail. But this is rather interesting. Right after he gets signed, I haven't even watched the video. I was doing something else, and just happened to see this, that he got signed. I knew it was inevitable. I can't even pronounce the word. But feeling good teas. Hi. Don't care. Thanks. I remember back in the 70s that there was t-shirts like that. Mostly the one, have a nice day. The happy face. But the fact that they're releasing this right now, right after the raid is signed, that looks political. That looks like the court oration, the phrase that I coined. That looks like the corporation is at work. The wheels are grinding. And remember what I said, if you're listening to me. Or remember what someone else might have told you. The threshold to charge someone is far lower than the standard there is to convict someone. Do you understand that concept? They can just put you through the ringer. It's kind of how it works. Lots of people are overcharged, taking advantage of it because they don't have any money. They can't afford an attorney, and they're taken advantage of by unscrupulous magistrates, unscrupulous judges. I mean, don't think for a second all the things you have been told in your life that these people called judges are just always on the up and up. They don't lie. They don't take favoritism. They don't have any prejudices. Not just black and white, religion, anything. They don't like the way you look. Or police officers. Come on. Police officers are really earning their keep these days. I'm surprised there isn't a national call just to eliminate them and end their unions. Demilitarize them. They work for the insurance companies. And I've mentioned this one before. This happened in a hotel. That hotel is insured. And trust me, some lawyer is going to look into it to make sure their security was up to snuff. Because if it isn't, and this girl was raped because of them, then that lawyer is going to sue the hotel. So police, investigators who work essentially for the insurance companies are going to look deeply into that. They're going to try to limit the liability. They want to give them the inside information, help them out. try to deter anything that did happen. We know something did happen because Gareon Conley clarified it. I don't care if you want to think he's innocent because this is your lifestyle and you think it's okay, but it's not okay. It's not okay, especially when in 3 days you're going to win a lottery ticket, or at least have the winning ticket drawn, and just happens to be in a certain amount of time after you sign your contract. There's your lottery ticket, and you screwed up. You screwed up big. Now, it could come back. The grand jury said, let's just get rid of him. He's leaving our state anyway. Where's he even from? Is he from Ohio? I don't know his background. If he wasn't, they're like, yeah, he's got relatives down in Louisiana. Yeah, we'll just, we will not recommend charges. They might take that attitude. He might actually get off on, what could have happened. But he better thank his lucky stars, and he better not, if he gets away with what he did, because they can run him through the ringer. It doesn't matter if he could be found innocent later on. He will miss the entire season. Get that through your head. No judge is going to allow someone who would be charged with a crime like rape, which carries a 25-year statute of limitations in Cleveland, Ohio, to just willy-nilly go across the country, willy-nilly go to Mexico, just have a grand old time. He's not going to allow that if he's out on bail. And to go to trial, I guarantee in a place like Cleveland, it's a fairly slow process. It's going to be like 6 to 12 months. That's the season. That's why I mentioned before that if the jury recommends this, they're going to turn around and offer him a plea deal to try to get money out of him. I'm not kidding. People in this world are that screwed up. He's immature. He made an immature decision. He just had a learning moment. Don't stick your schlong in girls' faces in the hotel rooms at 3 a.m. in the morning that you don't know. Don't do it at all. I mean, it's best to go find yourself a nice girl or something. Do not go fool around and wasting this opportunity that was just given to you to play a kid's game, basically, and get paid for it. You work out, throw a football around, run around, and you get paid for it. You should thank your lucky stars. And I'm sure I would hope he would think that way. Or if he's going to carry on this, gang bang, lifestyle, bring a camera. Video camera. Because there is a lot of danger out there. It's not just gold digging girls. Now you have to deal with gold digging corporations and all these other people that they have to justify their existence. Cops, investigators, grand jury. I'm on a grand jury. I'm better than you. I mean, you just entered into a world of hell. It's not a world of justice, necessarily. It's often hell. And so, he is signed. This is the weekend. And let's just see how long it takes for that grand jury. Like I said, it could go either way. Like I said, they could be like, He's out of our hair. He's going to Oakland. Even when they move to Las Vegas, he won't be bothering our girls anymore. They could take that attitude. Or they could say, he just signed a big contract. Our city needs some improvements. Let's charge him. Yeah, let's charge him. Yeah, we recommend charging Gareon Conley for rape. We want to ruin his whole life. He contributed a great deal to that. But now this episode is going to get more interesting. And we should find out something early next week. No, investigators aren't going to call him up and say, yeah, we're not going to judge you. No, they're sending it to a grand jury according to this article. I don't know how accurate this article it is. It could be a fake article. When you enter into this world, this bizarre world of information, there are no real laws against lying. They could have made this entire thing up as a story. Really. But we should find out pretty soon, early next week. Probably isn't made up, I'm saying, but I'm just saying that some of it could be exaggerated. But we will find out. I think he will find out before us. Especially if a couple U.S. Marshals show up at his door. Or show up at the Raiders training facility and take him out in cuffs. We shall see. We shall see.